I hate this. I think we're in for another Liverpool City title race with maybe Arsenal in the ranks. The three teams I dislike the most, particularly Liverpool. But we have to talk about how fantastic they were today versus Brentford. We've got to talk about Virgil van Dijk. I think Nunes had a good performance. I think Salah, his statistics this season are insane. We'll get them up. Simicas had a good game. And then Alisson. I know they won 3-0, but Alisson, he's just the best goalkeeper in the world. That's what you've got to say on Alisson. But I want to start by talking about Van Dijk, talking about Liverpool, and as much as it kills me to say this, since about March, April, Van Dijk has been back. It's not just this performance. Today, he was unbelievable. He dealt with everything. It was like, you shall not pass. Van Dijk is back. There's a narrative that Van Dijk's fallen off and all of that, and he had a few poor games last season. I remember when he played Brentford last season, he did struggle a little bit versus Mbeumo. But today, Mope, he weren't getting a sniff. Van Dijk was unbelievable today, but it's not just about him being unbelievable today. He was top today, and you can see his stats on the screen. But I think he's been brilliant this season. I think he's back to being the best centre-back in the world. We knew he was the best centre-back in the world, that 2018, 2019, 2020 period. Had a look with a dip, but the last couple of months, I can't name a better centre-back than Van Dijk. I think as a pairing, Van de Ven and Romero have been really impressive. I think, Newcastle's backline's been really impressive. You could argue maybe Saliba, but in terms of how good he is, I think there's no one that beats Van Dijk, and I'm saying that as a United fan. As much as I hate to say it, 4 clearances today, 2 block shots, 3 tackles, wasn't dribbled past once, 10 out of 10 long balls. It's not just defensively, it's what he did on the ball. 10 out of 10 long balls, won 4 out of 5 duels, 6 out of 7 aerial duels. He was just a brick wall today. He was just phenomenal, if that's the word. And I think it's time people say that Van Dijk is back, because if that is any other player, on Monday Night Football, they're doing an analysis on how good that player's been this season. But I think with Van Dijk, it's different because he was so good that 2-year period and then he dropped off a bit. I feel like people aren't realising that he's back. There's this narrative in the media, a narrative by rivals, and I'm saying this as a Man United fan because we're probably some of the people that create this narrative that Van Dijk's fallen off and he was a 2-season wonder. Well, in fact, he's been solid since March, April. He is back. And I think today was one of the most dominant, I would generally say, one of the most dominant centre-back performances I'd seen. He was colossal today. He is one of the best defenders in the world. He had a blip, but they say form is temporary, class is permanent. And the difference between when he was up against Brentford last season and up against Brentford today was night and day. And maybe the armband's given him this boost, but this season, it feels like no one's getting past Van Dijk. And it's the Van Dijk that was known for being the best in the world. This was the Van Dijk that was called the best centre-back in the world. This was the Van Dijk that people were like should win the Ballon d'Or. I feel like that is the Van Dijk we saw today. Because last season, I remember he lost a foot race versus Mbeumo away at Brentford. And then today, even when Mbeumo had a head start, Van Dijk was just there dominating him, intervening at a crucial time when they were 1-0 up, keeping them in the game. And I think Van Dijk and Alisson were particularly fantastic today. And what Liverpool have, and I will always say this, and I will always be fair, and I will never be biased, Alisson, best goalkeeper in the world. Van Dijk probably is the best centre-back in the world. I know he's had a blip, but right now, the best centre-back in the world. And Salah's the best right winger in the world, because Mbappe's not even a right winger, is he? So when you've got the best goalkeeper in the world, the best centre-back in the world, and the best right winger in the world, on their day, you win a game. And they won 3-0, and they were very dominant today. Alisson obviously had to make a few saves, but they were great. And I don't want to keep talking about Van Dijk. I do want to speak about Nunes, because I think Nunes is probably one of the most unlucky players in the world. And I think that Darwin Nunez had another really good game for Liverpool. And I think he had 2 goals ruled out, was it? But he got an assist, he was involved. And there's so much that Darwin Nunez does right. But he's that guy that then just misses a chance. Doesn't he? I also want to talk about Salah. I want to talk about many things, but let's give a little bit of a chat about Darwin Nunez. So before the game, these were some of Darwin Nunez's sort of season statistics here. And as you can see, he was in the 85th percentile for passes received, 88th percentile for aerial duels, 87th percentile for non-penalty goals, 89th percentile for expected goals. And even like passes into penalty area, expected assists, he's in slightly higher percentiles, offensive actions, 84th percentile. You can see as an all-round striker, Nunes has always been good. He's always been a threat for Liverpool. He's always good at running down those channels. He's very unpredictable. I think Nunes is an instinct player. When he doesn't think he's so much better, I'll always say that. But sometimes I feel sorry for him because I think, this guy, if he misses a big chance, because Salah missed a big chance today, it's all over the media. And I think that takes attention away from actually that Nunes' all-round game is really, really good. Got an assist today, was really involved in everything. Unlucky not to score. And I think there's this narrative around Nunes. And the reason I'm sticking up for Nunes is because there's now a narrative around Rasmus Højlund because he's missed 5 big chances in the Premier League. But I know as a Man United fan, someone that's watched Rasmus Højlund, his all-round game is really good. He's a good striker at holding up the ball, involving. And I know that Rasmus Højlund's been good, but there's this narrative of people that just look at a few statistics, City fans, or you've missed the chance and paint this striker out as bad. And I think that Darwin Nunez gets this because, look, I don't like Darwin Nunez in the sense of he plays for Liverpool, but I like Darwin Nunez in the sense of he is a player, he is a good player, he is a solid player. And again, he's one of those players that has that narrative, oh, he's missed so many chances, he must be bad. Oh, he's missed so many chances, he must be bad. But in fact, Darwin Nunez has been very good. And that first half in particular, he had 89% pass accuracy, 9 passes into the final third, 3 ground duels won, 3 out of 3 shots on target, 1 big chance created, and 1 assist. And if you look more into Darwin Nunez, I think he's recently established himself as the main striker at Liverpool. He needed a competition with Gakpo, who was in midfield today, which we will touch upon. And yes, he missed a few big chances last year, but even when he was missing big chances last year, I saw enough from Darwin Nunez to say this is a promising guy for Liverpool. It's not just, oh, he missed a few chances, he misses a few sitters. When I watched Nunez last year, how dangerous he was. When I watched Nunez come off the bench when they were on 10 men and beat Newcastle 2-1, I thought he was dangerous. But what he does is he runs the channel so well for Liverpool. He's so unpredictable, he's so strong, and he's always making defenders think. I don't know what Darwin Nunez's next move is going to be when he plays. The problem with him is he's definitely an instinct player. If he overthinks, that's where it goes wrong. But if he's offside, yeah, I'm going to score. I'm going to finish composure. But he's one of those guys that he's just, an unbelievable player. And I hate it when Højlund's now getting a bit of stick for missing a few chances. And I know that Højlund's been good and he's barely had any chance to create for him. And Nunes gets a bit of stick because it's like, yes, they aren't clinical enough and they need to do a little bit more. But you have to look at it and go, well, let's stop calling this guy crap because he misses a few chances when Salah missed probably the biggest chance today. And Salah's unbelievable. Do you know what I mean? So I think that Nunes had a good game. Tsimikas, I'm not biggest rater of Tsimikas. I don't think he's that good, but I think he had a good game. And I think Van Dijk is probably man of the match with Salah. I think if Salah doesn't get those 2 goals, and there was an argument that Liverpool should have had a penalty at, I mean, maybe you could have got a hat-trick there, but I'd probably say Van Dijk was my man of the match. Let's talk about Salah, though. So Mohamed Salah's statistics this season is absolutely crazy, and maybe I'll get them up in a second. He's one of those guys where just goal assist, always contributes. And the way to describe Salah, and I saw someone say this, is Salah's the kind of player that money can't buy because he's the kind of guy that where he's not just a good player, he's a game changer. And I think that is the best way to describe Salah. Because sometimes, he's not quite like Hazard and has, the aesthetically pleasing with the ability to dribble and do this and that. But he always comes up with goals at Anfield. He always scores. He always assists. He could do nothing. He can always make things happen, but he's also a very good player. He's one of those people that you can't buy because very few players can contribute like Salah in terms of goals and assists. Harry Kane, Salah. I mean, Rashford goes through 3-month phases where he plays like Salah, and then he goes through 3 months where he's crap. But there's Salah's one of those few players that can just pop up with these goals, pop up with these assists left, right, and centre. And today, as you can see by his statistics, he had another very good game for Liverpool. 67 touches, 38 out of 53 passes completed, 3 long balls, 2 ground balls, ones, 2 goals, 1 dribble completed, 1 key pass. Another standout performer for Liverpool. And I've had enough of talking about Liverpool players and praising them. I hope they become bad. Joking, well, partly. But I do want to talk about the Liverpool team, the Liverpool game as a collective, because I think they beat Brentford 3-0. But actually, when I saw that lineup, I thought maybe Brentford could get something today. And this was no disrespect to Liverpool, but they didn't have Konate, they didn't have Joe Gomez. Endo, there's a few question marks around that guy, particularly if he should have been sent off, because Man United players get sent off for that all the time. But I was like, Cody Gakpo's playing in midfield. Where's Curtis Jones? Where's McAllister? Where's Thiago's already obviously out? Where's Joe Gomez? Where's this player? Where's that player? I was like, the front line's good. I was like, the midfield, I don't know if that's going to work. But it worked really well for the Liverpool, to be fair. The fact that they rocked up with this side and won 3-0, comfortably just destroying Brentford, I'm worried they could win the league. I don't want them to win the league. I don't want Man City to win the league. I don't want Arsenal to win the league. I want Man United to win the league, and we're not. But it's like, they can win the league. If Chelsea get something today, if they go and beat Man City in a couple of weeks, they can generally win the league because I think they've got a few players out of injuries, nothing major, but they've got quite a good squad depth. They have Diaz on the bench. They've got Gravenberch, who's a great player. And, you look at them as well. Harvey Elliott's solid. Diaz is solid. I think that Kwanzaa guy actually looked pretty decent in that game. Was it versus Bournemouth in the Carabao Cup as well? They got a pretty decent side. So even with a few big players out injured, they were pretty decent today. And you can say, look, Brentford missed 2 big chances, but Liverpool missed a big chance. Both teams potentially had the same amount of big chances and all of that, but it was just the threat that Liverpool brought as well. And you look at the thing here. When I say the thing, you look at the table where, look, Man United is 6th. We're climbing up. Okay, we're above Newcastle. We're the best form team in the world. But I mean, if Man City are currently on 28, but they're live, if they lose to Chelsea, they're equal on points with Liverpool. If Chelsea, for some reason, beat Man City 3-0, I think Liverpool would go top. Not that I think that's going to happen, and that probably won't happen by the time this video is out. But currently on the form table, Liverpool are above Arsenal in 2nd place on goal difference, going in equal with City. City will probably be clear of them, but then they've got a game with City to catch up with them. They could win the league. They really could win the league. I know versus Luton they weren't great, but they easily could have won that game versus Luton had they actually been able to finish the ball. And then they'd be on 30 points top of the league right now, which would make my life hell. But you have to give it to Liverpool. They looked really, really good today. I think Trent, I haven't really mentioned him. I thought he had a good game, really fantastic ball. Jota, again, what a fantastic goal. Didn't even mention that. But I think Van Dijk, standout player. Nunes was good. Salah was good. Need Liverpool to lose. Hopefully Man United go to Anfield and finally get a result, because I cannot see Liverpool lifting another trophy. Ooh.